All right, folks, what's up? It is just after 5 o'clock on Thursday, March the 19th, 2020. Here we are in our daily recap. Interesting day. Kind of a lot going on. So I want to spend some time looking through some of our major charts today, just so we can get a general idea as to where we're at. A lot of stuff. Let's start here in our S&P 500. Okay, so in our S&P 500, one of the reasons why there's so much going on here, and I think that this is going to be, right, all of a sudden, you go back even, what is this, the 12th, so a month, and you don't see nowhere near as many lines, you don't see nowhere near as many, as many places to have conversations on the chart, because the spread was nowhere near as high, right? But in just this from the 19th, exactly a month. So we've been in this a month now since all-time highs. Because today's the 19th. You see a spread from 339.08 all the way down to a low, what is this, of 228.02 yesterday. So there are hundreds and hundreds of days worth of price action and different support levels. So like this is the December 2018 low. Looks like it has been there. We go down another March 2017 low, really acted as support here. All here January 12th 2017 low as a price level. We've got some June and March lows earlier. We'll actually change this now to overhead resistance. Change this to overhead resistance because it's in white. You've got August 5th 2018 or 19 low, overhead resistance, right? So we see all of these that are resistance now. We got all-time highs. We've got this level. And so we have quite a few levels going on. We also have a number of gaps that are worth talking about. We have this gap, 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 and gap. But really, I think the most important thing to chat through here are these days. And so we got a little regression channel that we're looking at. And the reason that I think this regression channel is important is because we're seeing a little bit different price action now than we have in the past. Okay, so clearly a regression channel, clearly a downward slope. Nice little area to potentially identify as support, right? So this 230 area. Now, until we break out of this regression channel with conviction moving forward, I'm going to be bearish in this potential channel. So bouncing up, and then even after hours, we're down about a percentage point here. So really worth watching. Now, on the whole, we were only changed from yesterday's close to today's close at 51 cents. And so a lot of volatility in the day, right? Pretty wide day here from 232.22 to 247. So that's 15 points. So from the bottom at 232 up to 247. We're looking at, say, what? 230, 15. What is that? 5 percentage points or so difference throughout the day. So still pretty volatile. Significantly volatile. But worth noticing here, right, kind of where we're at. So areas that I'm watching for, continue to watch for this December 2018 low, March 2017 low, and then January 12th, 2017 low. For us to go any further than that, we then start getting, and this is the daily, probably 5-year, 1 day, we've got plenty of lows still left to go, right? Now my trade that I have on, I have an iron condor on, and you can see really wide. A couple areas of resistance and support still got to go through. So I'm feeling okay about this trade that I got on. I'll look to add another. Let's just go here to SPY. Waiting for the data to come up. While we wait for the data to come up, so we have the position. Gonna wait either 120 days before we add our next SPY position. As we look at this position, we've got so much room here. Really quite a lot of room. Eight percentage points just so far out of the money. Might be worth, again, watching this regression channel, selling that 251 if we get up there. So if we start to get up to this box or this box, we'll look to maybe make some additional trades. Really looking for us to kind of cut the volatility at some point. But speaking of volatility, doesn't look like it's going to happen anytime soon, because we're still in the 70s, right? Box here, bullish equities. In this box, as always, we sell 20 delta vertical spreads, vertical put spreads. But outside of this box, we're bearish on equities, continue to be bearish on equities on the whole, and cautious. This is our bullish in equities, so looking to eventually get back here. Got a long way to go here. Long way to go. Volatility down 6%. So let's go to our VXX, which, as you know, is a super popular VXX. Big move down 10%, up 10% or after hours. Let's go into some of our other charts here. Crude, looks like we might be trying to put in a bottom here at 2052. We're going to watch this level of support here and see what happens. We are continuing to be right there at our little piece, up 25% today. Okay, major gap here to eventually fill. A lot of levels of resistance that we're going to have to get through. Trend line, we'll see what this trend line ultimately does here, but I'm watching this trend line. Got a couple more areas that we're going to want to break through, so worth just watching here as to what's going on. A lot of geopolitical stuff that is going to be probably more important than our chart, but it's still worth watching areas that chartists might get really interested in. Seeing a reduction in the put-to-call ratio for all S&P 500 constituents options. So potentially a sign we're trying to do a little bit of a bottom, lower highs here. So not quite sure what that's going to look like, but we're certainly watching it. All right. Gold, perhaps my most frustrated trade thus far. Would love to see a bottom here in gold. Love to see a bottom. I need, and be fully transparent. I do need a move up in gold here. Pretty frustrated by all of the adjustments, but need that move up in gold. Let's take a look. Gotta edit my for this expiration all the way out in June. So going to look at updating the position in June. Might look at laddering into another iron condor rather than doing anything. We've just been so volatile. Really thought that gold, I'd be having to adjust on the other side of gold, but I'm having to adjust on this side. So definitely gold's kind of taken me for a loop during this entire ordeal, right? So pretty significant loop that gold's taken me for. Gold's been difficult to trade. This isn't kind of what you expect when we're going through a market crash over the last 10 calendar days, right? So definitely looking at that. Okay, so that's where we're at with those. Let's go into this last little bit. Let's pull up our personal watch list for our major market indicators. Start with EEM. Looks like we're trying to bottom in EEM right here, up day, even though we've seen this pattern play out a number of times. So we'll see what happens with EEM. EFA Global, I actually like this right now. If we break through it, then we've got we'll probably see this as a pretty major area of resistance in the future. But if we can stay here, then EFA looks good. We've talked about gold. I'm pretty frustrated in gold in the whole. HYG, no bottom in sight here, so I think that we're just going to continue to see, this free for all for now. IWM, gonna like that we are needing to change some updates. This 2016 low is now going to act as resistance. But then we still have this 93.64 as an important level to watch. Junk bonds, again, no bottom in sight right now. Looks like we're going to continue to move down there. Got a lot of updating on this particular chart to do, so going to have to do that. S&P 500, we've talked a lot about in the regression channel. A lot of room on the downside. TLT, let's go in. Just really insane candles. Those candles are starting to level out a little bit, so not quite as large of a move. We'll see what happens. I mean, 138 to 154 for TLT. This is the most I've ever seen TLT move like this. Talked about oil volatility, 135 yesterday, down to 94 today. VXX again. Maybe we've seen the top, maybe we haven't. Certainly we'll be watching there. Let's go into our scan tab just so we can see if there are anything that we want to look at. Load the scan inquiry. If there's any long ETFs worth looking at right here. Ford is interesting here at $4. HYG. So if you're looking at just some of those plays, I mean, I might actually buy some Ford now for the long-term portfolio. I do like Ford at $4, $4.50. As far as anything worth shorting right now, nothing. We have no matching symbols, which isn't particularly surprising. So that's where we're at. Let me know if you have any questions. Otherwise, we're going to continue to just operate and try to move over the market. Actually, let's go one last thing here. So risk profile, we're actually going to go portfolio beta weighted. We're going to wait to the S&P 500 SPY. Take out these bonds we have. Really going to take out anything that's not longer term. And of course, volatility skews. One of the goals this week was to beta weight, and we're working on beta weighting, moving it down. So right now, come June, our break-even's 273, SPY at 237. So we still got some ways to go. Really wide here, right? So we've got wide here. We want to continue to move this beta weight down for the June portfolio. Okay, so the June portfolio, we want to continue to move down here. Large potential move here all the way down. 150 is what we're pricing in on the bottom. So got quite a bit of movement that we can certainly look at. So a lot happening. We're just going to continue to operate in this place of trying to beta weight appropriately and get back to a little bit more level of a playing field. All right. Now, if you have any questions, reach out to me. Otherwise, let's keep having a great week.